Welcome back to the channel, guys. Tum here, Energia Martial Arts. Niek is here helping me out today. We got a request someone from YouTube asking us to do the shin to shin guard. Today we're going to do a basic video showing you the framework, entry into the shin to shin and into ashigarami. And later on I'll do an advanced video where we mix things up with different sweeps, entries and some cooler stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Let's get to it. Oos. Okay, so let's first start off with the framework of the shin to shin guard. So I have to be careful on a few things for my opponent. So as I enter, my left shin, in this case, is blocking his right shin. I could also do the other side, my right shin is blocking his left shin. My foot is on the inside, yeah, and my shin will be right beneath his knee. So this is the position I want to be in. Now my arms and my head and my frame positioning, I have to be aware of some counter stuff from my opponent. Let's discuss the first one first. My hand on the side of the mat, yeah, the hand I'm using to post, I have to be aware for a rolling kimura entry by my partner. If he dives forward, blocks my back, yes, rolls, and enters for the kimura and starts chasing my back, arm bars, etc. So we have to be a bit aware of that. So this hand, I always have to be careful that I'm not leaving it dangling here without purpose or use, unless I'm trying to bait him, which I like to do in sparring. I just bait it here and have him go for the kimura and counter that. Also have to be aware of putting it here. He can do the exact same kimura. He will just take my wrist, go. So I will use this hand here later on, but you have to be aware, you have to be quick so that as he doesn't take the kimura. Next one, if I grab behind his knee and I use my hand, I'm not that strong. I cannot really pull his knee towards me. Yeah, and it's easy for my opponent to weave in with an underhook here and start knee cut passing me in, going in with the tight underhook. So I also want to be very deep, like elbow deep, and tuck his knee towards my chest. And besides me going forward into the shin to shin, I also like to pull my opponent a bit forward. You see this disbalance I created? Very nice sweet kazushi to get him off balance and pull him forward. So because he has a tight base, I'm not only entering into the shin to shin with a little bit of an angle and going towards him, but I also want to pull him forward a little bit. Now my hand doesn't go shallow, I go elbow deep. Yeah? My hand, it doesn't matter what you do with your hand, but in this case my elbow goes in and I tuck his knee towards my chest. My shin is blocking his knee cut pass and his entries, and I also have to be aware of my head. If I'm leaning it too far in, my opponent is going to grab my head and start maybe entering for guillotines. So these are some basic frameworks of what to look out for as I enter into the position. Now this leg, you can use it to cross, but in this case we're going to go with some basic shin to shin. I keep it in the inside of his legs and I can use this to base off. As I pull forward, etc., I use this foot on the mat to kick off. Yeah? From there on I can also base to do my entries and my sweeps. So that's the basic framework of what to look out for and how to enter into the guard. So I play my guard, I enter, I get into the shin to shin. Yeah? My leg is on the inside, but my knee, I always try to keep my knee in front of my opponent's chest and at least in front of his knees. Because if I will enter for the shin to shin and my knee is in the back side, I'll show you that in a second, he will just get a free mount or just pass me. Now, if we want to lift our opponent's shin, which is the purpose of the shin to shin guard, and I try to fall backwards, I'm going to have a very hard time lifting him. Yeah? So try to think about falling to your side instead of going backwards. So as soon as I go backwards and I try to lift my opponent's shin, I can get it, but he's easily hopping forward and he starts shoelacing, passing, he's going to switch his hips, etc., and just pass my guard. So I want to fall to the side. Now this is where the hand and the knee come in. We're going to go for a basic entry into ashigarami. I'm going to do it slowly in a second, but for now, if I fall to the side, it's going to be this shoulder, and I lift this shin. I want to be aware that he just doesn't pass this knee into full mount as soon as I kick through. So as long as I have his shin up in the air, here I'm kind of safe. Yeah? But when I kick through and I don't have this knee in between, he will just sit down and he'll have a form of full mount. He can just go down into the mount. So this knee is going to block that for me. So as soon as I enter, I want to block or grab this leg to prevent him from passing forward. If I just fall and he steps forward like this, boom, now it's going to be hard. I'm going to be at the wrong angle. You see this? Even if I kick through, it'll be harder for me to enter into my ashigarami. So I want to stay on this angle on the shin that I'm attacking. Now, at the final moment, I like to block this knee. Yeah? I block the knee and I keep my own knee in between his chest, my chest, and in front of his hips. So I enter slowly, I block, I keep this knee in front. So now if he wants to go down into mount, the knee is blocking that, my foot is on the hip, and I'm in this angle that I wish to have to attack this leg. One more time. So entering the shin to shin, not being shallow, not leaving this hand or my head open or the underhook open. Getting in, disbalancing him a bit, falling to the side, blocking his knee, kicking, my hips are activated, I'm off the mat, my legs are squeezing into the single leg X position. Yeah? So from the single leg X, we can do our sweeps, we can enter for legs, etc. Let's just look one more time at the entry from a different angle. So we're entering for the shin to shin. My knee is going to be tucked to the outside. I don't want it slipping off to the inside. My arm is going to go elbow deep. My head positioning I have to be aware of. My hand isn't facing here. My foot is on the mat so I can base off, but my knee is always in between. I'm not leaving this leg here. He will just sit down, pass, cut his knee to my chest, and he would have passed my guard. So I'm blocking his shin, entering, keeping my knee in between, basing, blocking his leg, falling to my right shoulder, kicking through, lifting my hips into single leg X. From there on, we can start attacking the legs. We can disbalance him, start reaping. Yeah, we can enter into the X guard or reverse X. Yeah, to go into different leg locks, but we'll show that in the more advanced videos. Yeah, for now we just want to do a basic single leg X sweep. So how to do that basic single leg X sweep? If I have the single leg X, once again from the shin to shin, fall to the side, block, lift my hips. If I try to disbalance him this way now, he has that secondary leg to balance with. He can just step. So I have to get that second leg with my free hand, reaching over, grabbing the ankle. Now, if I go to the side, it's very hard to bring my opponent to the mat. So a quick fix I will teach you from here is I'm gonna lift my hip up and push with my foot on his hip to bring his weight up and then to the side. So going to the side is very hard. But blocking his leg, lifting my hip and sitting up. I want to sit up to keep tension, to be high on the knee line, to then either choose to start attacking the legs, yeah, or come up, score my points for the sweep, and start passing here to enter for a top position. Different angle, please. So we're going to single leg X. One more time, basing, blocking, keeping his shin up and elevated, falling to my shoulder, and then kicking through, lifting my hips. Grabbing his second shin, lifting my hip up and making a sit-up. I'm tied on his hip and I'm tied on his knee. I don't want to fall here on my shoulders and leave all this space in my leg configuration as soon as we enter the ashi. Last time. Enter, close, disbalance, block, fall, lift, block, lift, enter. Now I can control his legs, start attacking, start digging for heels if I want to, or getting up. Yeah, switching my legs, getting on top, getting the underhook, and start scoring my points for the sweep and getting in top position. Now we're just gonna do one or two troubleshooting things from here, real quick. Either in the single leg X, my opponent starts peeling my foot off. I will then refer you to our X guard videos, how to disbalance from X guard, how to sweep from there, or reverse X, which will be in the advanced shin to shin video. And the other one is, if he starts leaning in all the way, this knee, now Niek's chest can go right beside my thigh, he can stack me, grab my neck. So as soon as this happens, I like to keep this knee, come forward please, on his chest there, and keep lifting my hip. That's very nice to keep the distance. As I go for his leg, I start doing my single leg X sweep. Now the last one is, if my opponent isn't standing, but he starts up in like a combat base, thank you, yeah, with this scenario. Now this tends to get a little bit hard because I don't get this full elevation. Same thing applies, as I want to pull his leg backwards, I'm never lifting him up, so I have to go to the same side. I go in, lift, block here. Now this is pretty hard to now sweep him over. I could start and go for reaps, but that's usually illegal. What I like to do, especially if he leans forward, I switch his leg to the side. I either go for 50-50 from here, or like a inside ashi. And if he keeps coming forward, I will just switch and start chasing the back. Okay? Maybe cover that in another video, but for now today, we just look at the shin to shin, the framework, positioning of the shin, positioning of the arm, the head, and the free hand, how to block his knee, keeping your knee inside, entering into single leg X, and then disbalancing, either getting the ashigarami ankle lock or getting into the top position. Thank you, Niek, for helping out. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the other video. We're going to go a bit more in depth, a bit more technical, and hope you guys enjoyed that too. Always.